Fire, 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 fire. The world's craziest prison escape. Oh my god. Chat, bust me out of prison!
July 1st, 2018, 9:20 a.m. A high-security prison south of Paris. One of the largest, most modern, and most secure
Paris!
detention centers in France.
You know what? If you're locked up in Paris, you probably deserve it. Yeah.
Hundreds of guards, massive 17-foot walls lined with barbed wire, and armored doors. The courtyards are covered with anti-helicopter netting.
No
On all
shot.
four watch
Wait, no shot. People actually try to land on the prison to get him out?
towers, snipers with assault rifles stand at the ready. In solitary confinement cell 207, inmate number 00-10189 waits to be escorted to a visiting room.
Oh.
He is the most heavily guarded prisoner in the country.
What did he do? Watch VTubers. Highly escorted criminal.
He was involved in at least 30 robberies,
Oh!
some including hostages, one involving a cash and transit heist that led to the death of a police officer. Twice, he slipped away from the police right at the scene
You guys found it.
of the crime. And
There
5
it
years
is.
ago, in 2013, he pulled off a spectacular escape from another high-security prison, using a smuggled gun and explosives to blast his way out.
Ooh, I'm gonna start blasting!
2 guards unlock his cell to pat him down. They do find something suspicious,
Oh, his
but it's
pee-pee.
just a pack of gum. The guards like him, despite his staggering record of high-stakes crimes.
Yeah, that's what they want. You wanna butter him up, bro.
He's easygoing, funny, and likable. It's almost like he's perfectly comfortable here, behind bars. 20 miles away, 65-year-old flight instructor Stefan Bai welcomes 2 new students, Frédéric and Julien, father and son.
Frédéric.
They're both hyped for their flight. They say they just want to tag along and watch him fly, not pilot themselves. But they do request it to be on board the Alouette 2, a vintage collector's model from the 1950s.
Ooh.
The pair have been marveling at it because
Rich
it just
guys.
looks so pretty. Something feels sketchy. Stefan will later recall that he thought they were wearing wigs. But hey, money is money, right? They pay 500 euros in cash up front. Back in jail, the prisoner is
Holy!
escorted to the visitors block for high-risk inmates. It's situated as far away from the prison entrance as possible.
That's
Prison
smart.
management has been on edge for a while.
That's crazy. Do you know what else they do? They make it confusing for the prisoners. They make it confusing on purpose because then they can't relay like directions and stuff.
Noticing a change in the inmate's behavior, he's received more visits and seemed to be sending coded messages during phone calls. His casual vibe with the guards could be a tactic to extract useful intel. A couple of days ago, a drone was spotted scouting the facility from above. Stefan is waiting for his students on an open field. He has landed on the clearing because they said they needed to stop to
Stefan.
pee. They stepped out and disappeared behind some trees.
Why wouldn't you just pee out of the helicopter? Hold on, pause. This is the weirdest thing about this. Why wouldn't you just piss out of the helicopter?
When they return, they're armed. They claim to know
Yeah,
his
hella
family and
piss.
his home address. They say they have been watching him for months, and that their accomplices are waiting at his house as they speak. If he doesn't do exactly as they say, his family dies. They'll tell him where to fly next.
Whoa.
On the visitor side of booth number 50, the inmate's older brother is waiting to see his sibling.
Uh-oh.
He has no idea that his little brother is about to pull off the most spectacular prison break in French history.
That's sick, man. Imagine being that guy. Holy. This guy's stuff is crazy good. Oh shit, break him out! Bam, 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 bam. Oh. Yeah.
The prisoner calmly waiting for his helicopter ride is Redouane Faïd. He's the country's most
Faïd.
infamous criminal. He's also a best-selling author,
He's
A movie-
bald! He's bald!
movie buff and adrenaline junkie, and to many in France's immigrant suburbs, he's also a legend. But to
Holy.
understand all this, we need to go back to the beginning.
He's Arabic? No, he's bald. He's not Arabic, he's bald.
1978, a suburb near Paris. This is 6-year-old Redouane. He's still in kindergarten, browsing through a newly opened store with his brother, who's 2 years older than him. There's not a single thing in this shop the two could afford. Their parents are Algerian immigrants. The father works in a factory. The mother cleans houses. At home, the boys shared a cramped 3-room apartment with 9 other siblings.
9 other siblings?
The social housing block is surrounded by wealthy suburbs, full of wealthy French kids. Redouane and his brother do not fit the mold. And the store detective makes sure they know it. He calls them petite merguez, a racial slur for Algerian immigrants.
Don't say it, chat. If you know what the slur is, don't say it, I'll ban you.
But other than
Those
that,
damn French
he doesn't really pay attention to them.
I don't know what it
Out
means.
in the parking lot, the brothers divide.
It means little peepee? Why would you call that little kids? It's kind of weird.
Up their haul. It's Redouane's first theft ever. A couple of weeks later, he gets caught. His parents are furious.
Oh,
His father whips him 20 times with a belt. His mother makes him promise he will never steal again.
Aw, poor little guy.
Around this time, Redouane discovers the world of film, especially French crime thrillers and American gangster movies.
So it's all because of the movies he became a criminal?
Them on repeat, memorizes entire scenes, and acts them out at home for his family. By his teens, stealing isn't just survival anymore. It's a way of life. He and his friends swipe TVs, stereos, VCRs, car radios, and computers. They use the money to buy Adidas sneakers and flashy tracksuits. But more than anything, they go to the movies. Again and again. Then, at 18 years old, Redouane commits his first bank robbery. He walks in armed, holds the bank employee at gunpoint, and threatens her with a line straight from the French crime film, Marine. Shut up. Do what I tell you. I've got nothing against you. I only want the money. Think of your children.
He's LARPing! Yo, movies are dangerous, just like video games.
After the robbery, he simply goes back to school and studies for his high school exams. There's no one to scold him anymore at home. His father has moved back to Algeria, and his mother is dying of leukemia.
Aww.
He'll later write in his autobiography that, from that moment on, he stopped caring. Redouane Faïd's crimes are getting bigger, and they seem to be directly inspired by American action films. During a heist, he and his crew end up taking a bank director and his family hostage. They are wearing rubber masks with the faces of famous politicians, just like Patrick Swayze in Point Break.
Oh, they actually see, chat! Bro! Chat, why are we like this? Why don't we just start banning movies and stopping crime like that? Oh wait, crimes still happen because people are schizos. Yeah.
Redouane even delivers a line from the movie
it doesn't
when they leave the
matter.
scene.
Yeah, ban movies.
Ladies and gentlemen, and please don't forget to vote.
In another hostage situation 2 years later, Faïd and his men show up in sharp black suits in homage to Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. They even adopt the thing with the color-coded aliases.
Mr. White, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Blue,
Mr.
Orange, Mr. Pink.
But this time, the job goes sideways, and they have to flee from the cops, just like in the movie.
Oh shit.
However, all these
Great
spectacular
movies, by
crimes
the way.
still don't seem enough for Faïd. One of his all-time favorite gangster films is Michael Mann's Heat, and after watching it over and over again, he sets himself a new goal. The holy grail of robbery. Armored trucks. An industrial area on the outskirts
Hope he did not watch The Heat. Never mind. Little Chad was like, I wonder if they're gonna recreate that.
Paris. Faïd is behind the
He's
wheel
got
of a
good
Renault.
taste in movies. I'll
He
give him
spots his
that.
target, a 6-ton armored truck with 3 armed guards inside, and slams his car straight into it.
Oh,
Within seconds,
that's
2
smart.
more cars appear, blocking the truck from the front and back.
Yep.
5 men in hockey masks jump out,
It's probably why they do escorts now.
AK-47s in
Or they're
hand,
more inclined
just
to.
like in the movie Heat. They surround the truck, moving fast. One of them slaps an explosive-looking package onto the windshield. The guards step out and surrender. Faïd and his crew start emptying the truck. But there's a problem. It's simply too much cash. Moving the money out takes way too long.
Oh shit,
After
the
just 3 minutes,
coppers!
police are on the scene. Gunfire erupts. Faïd takes a bullet to the
run.
shoulder. He does manage to escape with his crew, but he has lost blood on the crime scene.
Oh no.
Now the police have his DNA and start to investigate his identity. And if they catch him, he's looking at 15 years behind bars.
Only 15? For an armed
Stefan
bank
Bai and his two
robbery?
captors land for a second time. The hijackers have 2 more men waiting on the ground. They haul large black duffel bags into the helicopter. One of them climbs in, all dressed in black, hood pulled over his head.
Oh,
Stefan
shit.
is held at gunpoint the entire time. Now he is ordered to take off again. He flips the ignition switches and presses the starter, but nothing happens. The kidnappers think he's trying to outsmart them and start freaking out.
Uh-oh.
They beat and threaten him.
Oh my
If he
god.
doesn't do as they say, his family dies. Stefan manages to convince them that he really needs to step out to check the wiring. Finally, the engine roars back to life.
Oh my
They
god.
take off again.
That must have been so stressful. Holy shit.
The hijackers are well prepared. The duffel bags are packed with tear gas, smoke grenades, masks, AK-47s, and an angle grinder. And so the heli
Whoa.
thunders towards the high-security prison, where Redouane Faïd is sitting calmly in visiting room 50, chatting away with his older brother.
It's all a ploy.
Hands down, this really is the kind of stuff you'd expect in a Hollywood blockbuster. But say you're in the US and can't stream this French crime thriller due to geo-restrictions. Enter CyberGhost VPN. With servers in more than 100
CyberGhost?
countries, CyberGhost lets you
Wow,
bypass restrictions
VPN
from anywhere in the world
ad.
and access content freely, including Netflix,
Edge.
Amazon Prime, or Disney+.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Was that Netflix?
Anywhere in the world and access content freely, including
They put booby games on Netflix? What the hell is that? No, seriously, they put booby games? Am I... What?
Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Disney+. Whether you're traveling
had
or just
no
want to
idea.
explore a different content library,
Netflix was just for
CyberGhost
movies and
reroutes your
shit.
traffic through secure VPN. It masks your IP address and encrypts your data to keep it safe
It's
and
like
private
Pornhub,
for up
yeah.
to 7 devices simultaneously. Their no-logs policy means your browsing history and personal data aren't stored, tracked, or shared.
Wow,
That's why
thanks,
they're trusted
man.
by millions worldwide and rated great on Trustpilot. You can now get 84% off the 2-year plan, plus 4 months free, at just €2.03 per month.
Wow,
It's all
so
risk-free with
cheap.
a 45-day money-back guarantee. Give it a try at cyberghostvpn.com/fern. Back to
Alright.
Redouane Faïd in prison. How did he land there in the first place?
Faïd.
20 years earlier, the Movenpick Hotel in Basel. An employee enters a room to prepare for the next guest. She has no idea she is not alone. Redouane Faïd has been hiding there for over 3 hours.
Bro, you're just hedging your bed she doesn't clean under the bed. I saw a bald ass man like under the bed. I would probably scream and fucking kick them in the face.
Outside, the police are searching for him
What
across
the
the entire city.
frick?
A few hours earlier, Faïd was arrested on a train heading from Germany to France. German federal police took him into custody. He had been hiding abroad for months. But when the officers escort him off the train, he manages to break free. He runs straight across the tracks to shake the cops. The train roars in and blocks the officers from following.
Oh my god, that's movie
He jumps
shit
several
right
meters down
there.
and twists his ankle. So
He
now
literally could have, like, what if he mistimed it and, like, he got slammed by a train? That's insane. That guy does not give a fuck about his life.
he's
He's
limping.
a psycho.
Somehow he makes it to the back entrance of the Movenpick Hotel and sneaks inside. He finds several open
Movenpick,
doors
that's an
since the
ice
cleaning
cream.
staff are still working. He needs to get out of here somehow. He thinks about calling a contact in Strasbourg, but he doesn't have a phone. So what now?
Uh-oh.
There's a payphone right outside the hotel, but he also doesn't have any coins.
Uh-oh.
He calmly approaches the receptionist to ask if she can give him some change for a bill. She places the coins in front of him,
Oh.
which leads to another problem. His hands are still cuffed. What if she notices and calls the police?
Oh no.
Faïd keeps it cool, acts like he's casually reading a promo poster behind the desk. The moment the receptionist turns away, he quickly scoops up the coins.
This guy's a genius.
The first call fails, and he disappears onto the hotel rooftop to hide for a couple of hours. He tries again, turns around, and finds himself surrounded by 20 police officers.
20v1, let's go!
The next day,
It's the
Faïd is at
Matrix.
the hospital with 2 officers to have his ankle checked. He seems to be in serious pain, but that's just an act. In a fraction of a second, he drops his crutches and snatches a gun from one of the officers.
No
He
shot!
trained in Krav Maga during his time in Israel.
This guy guy loves movies. He's an adrenaline junkie, and he knows Krav Maga. Or Krav Maga, sorry. That's insane! This guy's crazy!
Super
Should've
efficient
been an
military
actor
combat
or something.
technique designed for fast defense and
Oh
brutal
my god, it's
disarmament.
Jason Bourne.
Before the second officer can
Oh!
react, Faïd drives his elbow into his face. The officer drops, and Faïd takes his gun too. Then he runs, as fast as he can, for the second time in 24 hours.
No way, man.
You would think a guy like that would be watched extra closely in jail. At 11:18 a.m., this prison guard hears a strange noise.
Woman. That's what the cause of this problem is, woman.
A low hum or buzzing sound coming from outside. To her, it sounds like a leaf blower.
Uh-huh.
Weird, she thinks. The gardeners are not supposed to work on Sundays. Well, it's not a leaf blower,
It's a helicopter!
but the facility is prepared for this. This sentinel receives an urgent order over the radio: unseal. The same thing happens on other watchtowers. Each one is equipped with a special case. The guard has to break the seal to open it. Inside is an HK G36 assault rifle. He grabs it and takes aim. The helicopter just keeps descending. The prison yards are covered with anti-helicopter netting.
Yeah.
Flying in here would be a suicide mission.
Yeah, so lower like a ladder or something.
But this is not a random helicopter. It's a 60-year-old vintage model, just small enough to slip through this unsecured gap in the
No
last line of the prison
way!
yards.
Wait, how did they know though? Like, they can't measure it. I have one of those myself. Yeah, you multimillionaire.
Also, this is not a regular landing. In fact,
They scouted it with a drone. Bro, there were no drones in 1998 or whatever. Or how long ago was this? I thought this happened in like 1998, or was it more recent? 2018? Oh, okay, 2018. Yeah, never mind. They probably just looked at Google Maps or something. They said they used the drone at the start of the video. Uh-oh. I ADHD'd out. I didn't listen to that part. Thanks, chat!
they're not touching down at
Yeah,
all.
they scouted it with a
Gedouin
drone.
Faïd must have known somehow that prison
Drone.
guards are not allowed to shoot at a flying helicopter. There's a proper protocol for this. And-
What do you mean there's no protocol? Just shoot it down. What do you want, an escaped criminal?
Maybe he also knew that Stéphane Bay is one of the few pilots in
In
all
America,
France
that'd
who are
be
skilled
shooting
enough to pull
on
this
style.
off, to keep this specific type of vintage heli steady enough while hovering above the ground. Investigators will later discover that Faïd had been writing letters to Stéphane's stepdaughter for 2 entire years. And this friendship was not Faïd's only connection to the outside world, because at this point, Gedouin Faïd was already a star.
Uh-oh. Can't
October 2010, 12 years after his escape in Basel, 8 years before his
Basel.
helicopter prison break, Gedouin Faïd sits in a French talk show.
Whoa!
Gangster, braqueur, voyou, voleur, appelez ça comme vous voulez, il revendique à peu près tous ces mots-là.
They just allow criminals on air like that?
Bonjour,
Interesting.
Mademoiselle Faïd.
He's so bald. He's
C'est
very
bon, vous en
bald.
avez braqué combien en tout? Alors, officiellement, j'en ai braqué qu'une, puisque j'ai été condamné que pour une pente.
Bro. No way, bro. They're like, he's just bragging about how he's like a fucking criminal. He looks like Jeff Bezos. Yeah, he does.
Donc, on m'a soupçonné d'en avoir braqué une trentaine, mais bon, ça, c'est que des dires et des racontards.
He's a welcome guest at
Shit.
the time, a bit of a sensation even.
Wow,
Gedouin Faïd
he's
has
got
written a book about his
fangirls,
cinematic
probably.
crimes, so now he's making the rounds on French TV to promote it.
Yeah.
C'est terrible de dire ça, mais le cinéma était pour moi un mode d'emploi pour braquer.
Et on voyait ça un petit peu, l'attaque de fourgon blindé en ligne de mire. Pourquoi? Parce que quand tu attaques un fourgon blindé, c'est le top des tops.
The caption on screen reads
Wow.
former gangster.
They're glorifying him though.
Well, not so long ago, he was anything but.
Yeah.
In late 1998, 3 months after his escape in Basel, Faïd was caught and sentenced to 18 years in jail for armed robbery.
Damn.
He was granted parole for good behavior after just
He's a
under
good
9
boy,
years.
chat. You good
Now
boy.
he presents himself as a changed man, as someone who has learned his lesson.
Yeah,
La vie
right.
de bandit, c'est que de la vie de merde. Vous savez, vous faites souffrir tout le monde. Quand vous allez en prison, c'est une sanction carrément qui est collective parce que votre famille.
You believe the guy that did all of this and then also watched movies his whole life and recreated movie bank robberies in real life wouldn't be really great at acting? He's a great actor.
Votre femme,
He's
vos
charming.
enfants, vos frères, vos sœurs, vos parents, tout le monde paye.
He got married. His brother has landed him an office job. He appears to be taking it easy now. At one point,
Surely.
he attends a film event where Michael Mann is physically present, the director of Heat, the very film that inspired his biggest heist.
No way.
Moi, personnellement, je suis un ancien gangster. Malheureusement, je ne m'en vante pas. Je viens de faire une dizaine d'années de prison. J'ai attaqué des fourgons blindés, des bijouteries, des banques, monsieur Toubiana, je pense. Et je leur ai répondu que non. J'avais un conseiller technique, un prof de fac, une sorte de
No
mentor qui
way,
s'appelle
bro.
Michael Mann. Alors, ma question, en fait, elle est simple. C'est est-ce qu'il a conscience qu'il y ait des gangsters qui puissent s'inspirer de son cinéma? Parce que moi, ça m'est arrivé.
No way, dude. The director's like, this guy's crazy. Why is this guy in the interview?
Faïd addresses Mann directly. Michael Mann looks amused, but also a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to say.
Thank you for that. I don't know how to respond.
Yeah, I wouldn't
In
either.
another
I'd be
talk
like,
show
what the
stint,
hell?
Faïd is asked if he thinks he could ever relapse.
Ah non, bah, moi mes démons, vous savez, hein, ils sont morts, ils sont pas endormis.
That's a bold-faced lie, because at this point, he's already back to committing crimes. And not just petty theft, but a crime so shocking it will shake the entire country.
Oh my god, what did he do?
May 20th, 2010, Créteil, a suburb southeast of downtown Paris. Two officers are on routine patrol, Thierry M. and his partner Aurélien Fouquet. Fouquet is 26 years old. She became a mother just a year ago. For them, it's just another day on the job. But then
How
they get a call from
unfortunate
the
your name
National
is
Police.
Fouquet.
They're told to head to the A4 highway exit. Some criminals are on the run in a white van.
Uh-oh.
They pull up at an intersection with flashing lights and blaring sirens. They have no idea what they're about to get into. These men had a plan to rob an armored cash truck carrying 16 million euros. But 30 minutes ago, a routine traffic stop turned their heist into a high-speed, all-out chase with the police. Now they've crashed
You
and
will
need a new
never
getaway
get my
car.
fucking baguettes.
But at that exact
Trent.
moment, the two patrol officers arrive. The gang doesn't hesitate to open fire. The windshield of the patrol car alone is pierced by 16 bullets.
Holy shit.
Fouquet is hit multiple times. The
Fouquet!
gunmen flee. Fouquet is rushed to the hospital. And by the end of the day, she is dead.
Fouquet, no!
The murder of Aurélien Fouquet sends shockwaves throughout the entire country.
Damn.
At her funeral, thousands of police officers stand in mourning.
Aw.
Among them is French President Nicolas Sarkozy.
Oh
He
yeah, this
posthumously
guy.
awards her a Medal of Honor and delivers a promise.
Damn,
He
a
will do everything it
post-mortem
takes to find out
medal?
who did it.
Les meurtriers d'Aurélie Fouquet, je le dis devant son cercueil, seront punis avec la sévérité qu'exige l'ignominie de leur crime.
Bedouin Faïd feels safe. So safe he keeps telling his gangster stories on camera. Here he is in a documentary.
No
The film
way!
acc-
What a stone cold killer!
Recounts how Fouquet was gunned down. And then Bedouin Faïd appears. Not as a suspect, not as a fugitive, but as an expert on this kind of heist. At the time, the filmmakers had no idea that the man sitting in front of them had a part in the killing of Aurélien Fouquet.
Fouquet.
The failed attack on the armored cash truck has
07
Faïd's signature
Fouquet.
all over it. But he has an airtight alibi, and he swears he was not involved. But investigators keep digging and eventually find compelling surveillance footage. A security camera has caught Faïd inside the white van used by the criminals. Faïd was not on the scene when the shots were fired, but police gather enough evidence to pin him down as the mastermind behind the operation. After 1 year on the run, Faïd is captured. Again, and he goes straight back to prison. Whether you're invited to a talk show or heading out on a date, there are moments when you want to look your best. But
2 ads in one. 2 ads in one video? That's bold.
shaving is often a struggle. Many men experience razor burns and get nervous about shaving right ahead of an important event. That's why Henson set out to fix shaving with real precision. They're experts in machining parts for aerospace projects, and they conducted pioneering research on what really makes for
New
a good
meta?
and
No, I
skin-friendly
don't think
shave.
so.
The
I
result
think...
is just beautiful. A sleek and long-lasting aluminum razor
Nah,
with
man, it's
aerospace-level
double
precision.
up. Damn,
The blade sits at a
bro.
near perfect 30-degree angle and extends just 0.0013 inches past the shave plane, less than a human hair.
It's
That blade
not.
support
It's
makes for
really
less flex,
not,
less
man.
irritation, and just a better, safer shave. We are
Trust
big
me, I
fans.
watch more
Go to
YouTube videos than you, man.
hensonshaving.com/FernTV and enter the code FERN at checkout to get a free pack of 100 blades with the
That's
purchase of a
wild.
razor.
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, he needs that fucking
2 inmates are
rent
taking
money.
out the trash, accompanied by a prison guard. Suddenly, they see a helicopter in the courtyard next to them. They wonder if it could be firefighters. The unarmed warden bolts into a nearby office, hiding behind bulletproof glass. Meanwhile, the 2 prisoners are about to witness Redouane Faïd's spectacular prison escape up
Let
close.
me out! Let me out!
One of the 3 men stays with Stefan.
Those were my smugglers right here. They're like, no, let us out. Alana locked us in this French prison. It sucks so bad. They don't give us cheese, only baguettes and snails.
Redouane Faïd's spectacular prison escape up close. One of the 3 men stays with Stefan, the pilot, and continues to press a gun to his head. The other 2 jump out. They are masked and wearing bulletproof vests beneath their clothes. Each of them carries an AK-47. They've just landed in the honored courtyard. Prisoners do not have access here. It's only used when inmates enter or leave the facility. That's why nobody thought anti-helicopter cables were needed here. The man in green runs towards a reinforced white door.
No
He carries an
shot.
angle
They're gonna
grinder
break
with a
him out
14
like
inch
that.
35cm blade. His partner sets off 3 smoke grenades, releasing thick white smoke. The helicopter's spinning blades churn it into a roaring chaos. Until the entire
Damn, that's
courtyard is engulfed.
badass.
A complete whiteout. The sound of the cutting angle screeches through the entire prison. Faïd knows what that means. It's time. By now, it's clear
It's
to
time to
everyone that
game.
nobody here is blowing leaves. The blade of the grinder slices through the locking doors. Clean, precise. 40 seconds is all it takes.
That's
The man in green
fast.
can just push the door open and step
My
inside.
smugglers would be faster,
The guards
though.
slowly realize what's happening, but they're not carrying firearms and are unable to interfere. One of them sticks to protocol and calls the Civil Aviation Authority. They don't understand what's happening. Another calls the standard line for police emergencies.
They don't understand because she's a woman and she's frazzled. Why don't they have guns? I don't know, good question. Why doesn't the French high security jail prison not have fucking guns? Yeah, explain that one to me.
And gets put on hold. A third contacts the local police, but the officer on the other end thinks it's a prank.
Yeah.
The sentinels on the 4 watchtowers are the only ones carrying firearms, but they can't see the helicopter because their view is blocked by other buildings. And they're not allowed to fire at a flying aircraft anyway. Total, utter chaos. By now, Faïd's brother knows exactly what's going on. He's furious. He thought his brother was ready to change.
Honestly, kind of an evil brother plot point. Like, ah, fuck, I thought I could trust him.
And now this, another
sucked.
escape. He just can't help himself.
Your evil brother just wants to keep being evil. What the frick, man? I thought you changed. I put my neck out on the line. He can also get into trouble, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like they'll like assume that he's like helping him. He was also there on the day of the break.
Faïd's accomplice has already cut his way through several locks.
It's 'cause he's
and now he has
bald,
reached
isn't
the door
it?
to visiting room 50, where Redouane Faïd is waiting. The angle grinder slices through the metal.
No
The
way.
door is open. Faïd has been waiting for this. He storms out and rushes down a long corridor, followed by the man in green. His brother is left behind, frozen and stunned.
Yeah.
At 11:28 a.m., Redouane Faïd steps into the
They should
prison
have given him a
courtyard.
toupee.
10 minutes after the helicopter got there. He sees the 2 inmates that have taken out the trash, brings his right hand to his temple, and gives them an Air Force salute. Then he climbs into the helicopter.
07 smugglers.
Dozens of inmates stand pressed against the bars of their cells to watch. As the helicopter lifts off, the entire prison erupts into applause. It's
No
almost like a movie
shot,
scene.
man. I can't believe they didn't have guns,
Who
man.
broke out of jail by hijacking a
A
helicopter
notorious
earlier.
gangster is on the run
Criminal
again.
who is a big movie fan. He has broken out of prison twice
And
now.
you can just about make out the helicopter flying off into the
Help of
distance.
multiple armed men who hijacked a helicopter.
which picked up Redouane Faïd from within the prison grounds.
The news of Redouane Faïd's prison break spreads across the world.
Where did he
He was
go?
already famous, a TV figure, the center of a cult-like hype. But this is a whole new level. A well-known French actress writes on social media, "Bravo, Redouane Faïd. All of France is with you." The French police declare him
Are you retarded? That guy killed a dude and endangered people's lives. And you're like, yes! Yes! Yes, Queen! I love this! Who says that? It's because he's Algerian? That sounds racist. What is that supposed to fucking mean? There's a lot of Algerians? I know, but I'm saying he's a criminal. Why would she... Or do you mean like... No, because it says the French people are with you. No, you misunderstand. Does this say... Because it says France is with you.
Bravo, Gadouan Faïd. All of France is with you.
All of France is with you means, in English, it means like, we are, like, we stand with you. Yeah, like, it's like a voice of support. Like, yes, let's go. You broke out. We're with you. Yeah, I think... Like, to me in English, that's what that means. I don't know if that means something else in French. Does it mean, like, you were chasing after you? That's an Arabic woman? But I'm trying to say, like... But I'm trying to say that she's being stupid.
The French police declare him the country's most wanted man.
Yeah.
3 months later, the authorities track him down, hiding in an apartment in his hometown.
She's so dumb. Why would she even say that?
He's been disguising himself under a burqa during public outings.
She's ovulating.
When he finally stands trial in 2020, authorities take extreme security measures, including a no-fly zone above the courthouse.
Oh my god, dude, that's crazy.
The court cites a psychiatric assessment describing him as a social predator and gifted at manipulation.
Yeah.
He uses his charm and intelligence to control others
Crazy
and get what he wants.
good.
Faïd himself says that for him, it was always about the adrenaline. He says he is addicted to it and calls himself a sick man. His Hollywood-style heists made headlines worldwide, but he also made his family suffer, traumatized hostages, and caused the death of a 26-year-old police officer.
Yeah.
Faïd stood 2 separate trials.
Fouquet?
For his heists, his role in Aurélien Fouquet's death, and his 2 escapes from prison. He was sentenced to a total of 39 years in jail.
Damn.
His lawyer says he's been held in solitary confinement since 2019. He is strip searched up to 5 times a day at random intervals.
Brutal.
At least 4 guards escort him to each and every one of his phone calls. And even then, his hands have to remain in shackles. Faïd himself says he feels like he's been buried alive.
No shit, man!
His earliest possible release date is 2060. He would be 88 years old by then.
Bro, they search him 5 times a day? Like, what if it's like when he's sleeping? That's for dumb, man. The fuck did he expect? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm like, hold on a fucking minute, man. What did you think was gonna happen after you killed someone and tried to rob a bank? Or, you know, a friggin' high-value vehicle? Expect part 2? Really? You think so? But then he's just gonna get caught again and then we're gonna go around in circles, man. Breakout with a cane. We've seen more interesting ones where like they had soup given to them and then the shackles of they would drip a little bit of soup onto the shackles and after like 5 months it eventually corroded or something.